Well, do a little safety check here. This is something I do when I get new pieces of equipment and in for repair. One of the first things I do is see if the thing has a hot chassis or has a defect that makes it a hot chassis. There's a couple ways to do this. You can use specialized equipment or you can build something, and it's easy enough to build this. This is basically just a body simulator is what this really is. It's a cap and this resistor, and you hook it one side to the chassis, one side to an actual earth ground. You're going to have to figure that out on your own, and you measure it, and if it gets above a certain voltage, then you've got a problem. And I can't remember what the voltage was right after that. I think it's like 7/10 is the limit. Another way you can do that was an actual leakage meter, and this is this happens to be a Viz or an RCA. It's a WP30. It's a power supply, but it also does leakage. You take this probe and ground it to the chassis. Then you switch the meter into leakage mode, and then it's read directly here. And then you flip this meter, basically how it's referenced back and forth. And you can see at a quick glance it's within the leakage. The leakage limit is, what is it, like half a milliamp, so it's 500 microamps. And you can actually see that this has a little bit of leakage both ways. Sorry, that light's kind of, where's that light coming from? Oh, it's behind us. Okay, there we go. You can see it's got a little bit. Is that focusing? There we go. It's got more one way than the other. Now, this has a transformer, so what's the leakage? Well, there's probably a ceramic cap or two to ground to the chassis here. Another little trick you can do is note there's the high side, and it's on the hot, so we have flipped the lead around and see if it disappears. And it appears to, so if we flip this back the other way, it's there. So there's some cap in there with a tiny amount of leakage, and it's well within the safety margin. It's looks like it's about 0.1 milliamp, or what is that, 100 microamps. It's pretty far down there. One good thing about that tester is if you hook this lead up to something and it's in the danger zone, like really dangerous, this annunciator goes off and scares the crap out of you, and then you drop your lead and get hurt. But it does tell you that the thing is well outside the, annoying, somewhat unsafe, in the don't plug that in under penalty of law. And usually what I do is I set this all up, plug the unit in, and then test it. And if you ever worked in a hospital, this is something you do religiously. Every piece of equipment has leakage checks because things are hooked to patients. You don't need to get them hurt. Anyway, it's a leftover good habit from bygone era. So here again, all you need is this body simulator. And actually you can find this document in most of the beginning of most of the somewhat modern Sony televisions, although I did see a JVC turntable the other day that had this in here, and it's 0.15 microfarad across 100 or a 1.5K resistor. It's probably a watt or two, and you just hook it to the chassis, and you hook it to an earth ground, and then you've got you can use the Simpson 260 on there. They actually make leakage meters, but you know what? And then, believe it or not, there are 5 body simulator circuits, and if I find them, I'll let you know. And here again, yeah, there's the danger not to exceed 500 microamps right there. And this is actually a, what is this? I can't remember. I don't know. It's just a page out of one of the Sony manuals. In the, I guess it was the 80s. Yeah, I'd say the 80s. That almost every service manual had this test in here, and I don't see that so much anymore. So apparently people don't do it. Some states it's mandatory, and there's an actual after the test, you write down the results, and there's a decal that's attached to the device. Here in our state, we don't care about safety. Well, at least the state doesn't. So take it easy. Have a great day. We'll talk to you later.